I now have a tablet to draw on. All that's left now is choosing the app I'll use to do that, which I decided to turn into content by ranking 4 free drawing apps I found. Also, I have never drew on a tablet, so the ranking system will be affected by it, I guess. So don't take my word if you want to choose an app from here, even though they're free and you have no consequences if you want to do that, but whatever. Also, each portrait will be of one of my OCs, because I want to, and they'll be introduced, don't worry. The first app is Ibis Paint, and I knew I wanted to draw my Jester OC, Melville. I already drew him on Ibis Paint on my phone with my finger. I use that as a reaction image all the time. So I thought it'd be fun to call back to that by making a more detailed drawing of him. But let's get to the technical stuff. Ibis Paint is a very solid app. I think every artist has drew on Ibis Paint at some point. And just like I said, it's really solid. You have everything you need. There are ads, but they aren't really a problem, at least in my opinion. And I also heard it has an animation feature as well. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'm talking way too much about the good things, but seriously, it's a good app. It's very solid. One thing that bothered me though, it might be just because I haven't found how to edit that, but the stabilizer messed me up a little bit, especially on the eyes, because I couldn't make them look right. Like, my eyes are really simple. It's just a circle inside a circle. And I couldn't make that look right on Ibis Paint. It might be a skill issue. It is the first drawing ever that I'm doing in this tablet, so... And yeah, I messed a little bit with the brushes. Tried to get the lines right again. After that, I started putting on some colors and shadows. There is a blur tool that's very easily found, so that's good. I used that. And there isn't a lot to talk about anymore. I don't know if you guys would want to just hear me rambling about Millville throughout all this time, so let's just cut to the final part. Also, I forgot to mention, there is a speed paint function. You can play the speed paint, which is very nice. It's very useful to me. I usually don't record myself drawing, I just use the speed paint that the app provides later. So yeah, this is right up my alley. I ranked this an 8 out of 10. I was already used to Ibis Paint, so it might be a little favoritism here, but you know. You know the rules, you can't draw one sibling if you aren't going to draw the other. The next step is SketchBook, which I use to draw Bridget Ophelia if you will. And I want to start by saying I really like this pencil brush, especially for sketches. I don't know why the eyes look so big, but it looks pretty. I just had fun with the sketching part, honestly. Going into the line art, I wanted to use a different brush just to try out a different one. I found this. I'm trying to not say this one or that one again. But yeah, it had a lot of texture. I really liked it, but it turned out to be a problem in the coloring. But before we get to the problem, I want to say that the color picking system here is definitely different, because instead of a color wheel, we have these different palettes, which I don't know if it's nice or if it's bad. It's just different. And now we get to the problem, which is the paint bucket tool doesn't work on this brush. It looks really weird, especially since I'm working with black because Bridget has black hair. I ended up coloring everything by hand, which looks cool, but I don't know if I see myself doing that every single time. I just use the same coloring process for everything else because the hair kinda traumatized me. But all in all, it's a very good app. The color wheel might be hiding somewhere, I just didn't find it. And I might try it out again with a different brush this time. Once I finished the sketch, I also found that the app also had a recorder, also had a speed paint, which records the zoom-ins as well. I think that's really cool. I would have given this an 8 or 7 out of 10, but while I was looking for the blur tool, I found a lot of texture brushes which seemed really nice to use, so bonus point for that. The next app is called Infinite Painter, which started with a tutorial saying where everything is, how everything works. That's nice. Anyways, I spent some time messing with the brushes as always, and to break up the clown and circusy motif, I decided to draw Evelyn this time. Honestly, the only word I can find to describe using this app is weird, because I couldn't find the undo button for some reason. The eraser is fine, but still, my Control Z instinct was on the whole time. I normally draw on the computer, and not having the undo button was really weird. But ignoring that, the sketching part was really nice. I still really miss the undo button, but yeah, I managed to get through it. The undo button situation becomes a problem again in the line art because it's really important. And also when I made her twin tails, one of them I ended up messing up one of them. And because there was no undo button, I decided to just leave it there. Like the eraser didn't exist. Because if I erased that part, it would be much harder to reconnect it with the rest of the twin tail in my head. So I started coloring. I tried using the paint bucket tool and where's the undo button when you need it? Whatever, this one has a colored background now, I guess. I tried hiding that layer and just starting another one, but then I found out that in this app, if you have the free version, you can only have 3 layers, which wasn't that much of a problem for me because I was drawing a simple portrait. I just needed 3 layers anyway if I erased the sketch layer. But I can see it being a problem for both people who use more layers than I do and for bigger projects with backgrounds and stuff. At this point I was just angry. I didn't use the bucket tool anymore, I colored everything else by hand. I deleted the sketch layer to be able to put in the shadows. I found out later that there was a speed paint and that it recorded the whole drawing, but I didn't save it and I didn't pass it to my computer, so you guys don't mind, right? It's the same thing that's going on the screen right now. It doesn't look like you can export it either. I don't know what's happening in this app. It's just really weird. Do I need to say more? Let's just go to the next one, please. The next one is Krita, and why did I even try? This is not meant for tablets at all. It took me a while to get even a canvas because the size of the default canvas was really big. My tablet didn't even process it. I just cut off the last number from each of the dimensions and it ended up looking really pixelated. I am not kidding. I tried to draw something, but it wasn't working out. Also, the screen was very busy. It's good for computers. I like Krita, but no, that's just not it. I'm sorry. That was just chaotic. So what did we learn from this? Absolutely nothing. I liked the first 2 ones. After SketchBook, it just went downhill. Between SketchBook and Ibis Paint, I think I'll use Ibis Paint more because it has, well, more stuff, especially the animation thing that I didn't try out. Do let me know if you want me to do a video trying out the animation system on Ibis Paint and maybe with 4 different animation apps like a sequel. And that's about it. Thank you for watching it this far. Do leave a like on the video and consider subscribing, all that stuff. And until we meet again.